What is up, everybody? Welcome back to VogelStang. Thanks for checking out this video. So finally we got our hands on some tires. Yes, so we found some Mickey Thompsons. They're 305 45 17s. Picked up myself some race stars, and that's it. Super excited because I've been searching for a long time, trying to get my hands on some drag radials, specifically the Mickey Thompson ET Street R's, and that's what we got today. I've been looking everywhere, all ads and everything. Finally something turned up on Facebook Marketplace, and turned out that the guy was selling them. He got himself a brand new pair of Mickey Thompsons. He's got a storefront and everything, and so it's not like they were used or potentially used. They still have the stickers on them, and he was asking the same price as whatever you would pay at a regular retailer. So naturally, I went and picked them up and got myself some race stars. And there's a little bit of a story behind this. I actually had them last weekend, and I was going to race last weekend and go to the track, but we had some unfortunate turn of events. As I was putting on the tires, I was putting the lug nuts on, and one of the lug nuts was not threaded properly. So I had to postpone the drag racing day, unfortunately, because of one lug nut. However, and there's yet still a little bit more to the story. Because then after I took the tires off the car, all of a sudden the next day I noticed that the weights are falling off. They're unsticking from the wheel. So even if the lug nut was fine, I was able to get the tires on, the wheel weights would have fallen off, and who knows what kind of events would have transpired from that. I mean, I'm sure having an unbalanced wheel running at 115 117 miles an hour at the top end is probably not a good scenario. Today I got the tires rebalanced and the weights put back on, so you can actually see these are all brand new. The tires are brand new, the wheels are brand new, and you can see there's a ton of weights in there. That's going to slow down my time. It's going to slow down my time, man. Come on, why they got to put so many weights in there? So you can see that I had weights in there previously, and they already ripped them off, which is really weird to me. So if I had one place balance them, mountain balance them, and I wound up taking them to someplace else, because after the results of the weights falling off, I was a little concerned about the place that I had got them mounted and balanced. So I just went to another place and had them balanced. Now, I don't know if anybody knows, but I find it a little odd that nothing changed with the tire and the wheel. Two places wound up putting weights in like almost completely different spots. It seems a little suspect to me. I trust the second place that I went to much more. That's usually where I get my wheels and my tires and wheels balanced, mounted and balanced. But last weekend they were too busy and they couldn't fit me in, so I wound up just bringing it to a place that I don't usually go to. So the place that I brought it to today to put the weights on, I trust them much more than the other place. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Is that weird? I mean, I would think that the weights would still need to go in the same spots as where they were previously, if nothing changed with the tire setup and the wheel. I know that, if you take the tire off and you put a new one on, of course it's going to have the need to be rebalanced, and the weights will be in different spots, but nothing has changed there. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But I wasn't originally going to do an install video for these wheels and tires, because I just figured, well, they're just wheels and tires. Everybody should know what to do with wheels and tires and putting them on. However, I went to go put on the one side, and I know you had to get special lug nuts for this setup, and I was actually a little confused as to why you needed the lug nuts, and it wasn't until I went to go put them on that I realized why. So I figured I'll do this video to show anybody who's potentially looking to get these particular wheels. I don't know if this is for all drag wheels or just the Radials. You know, that's something that I'll have to look into. But I figured I'd do this video to see to show you guys how it actually goes on and what's different about it than a standard wheel. What you'll notice is, see how the wheel studs, how they sit in there? They're much smaller than the opening that's in the wheel. You'll need to have this kit as well. So it's the Radials direct drill, open end or closed end. You could get whichever one you want, open end or closed end. 14 millimeter by 1.5 lug nut. So what the Radials kit comes with is 10 lug nuts. So if you have front runners and rear wheels, you'll have to get the double kit. This one comes with just 10 lug nuts. Just comes with hardware for 2 wheels. So if you do wind up having rear wheels and front runners, you'll need obviously hardware for 4 wheels. But this is what the lug nut looks like, and what that's going to do is that's going to go actually inside of the wheel. And the reason for that is so that way it makes more contact with the entire stud. So it's not just, you know, like a normal lug nut, you know, it's probably threaded on, you know, maybe this much, whereas these will be threaded on, you know, a whole lot more part of the lug nut. And so that, I guess, provides more stability and more strength. It also comes with washers, and I'll get to those two in a second. And these, I don't even know what these plastic rings would be called, but they go like on the hub on the wheel. What I'm doing here is I'm just putting this plastic wheel hub ring thing goes right. So here's, you can see it has a lip on it. So if you look at the bevel here, the ridge here needs to be on the outside ring here. So you just take it and you just put it like this, and it's kind of snug, not too tight, so it goes in pretty easily, but it should fit in there pretty snugly. And then after you do that, now you can put the tire on. Oh, wait, before you put the tire on, this is where I ran into trouble. Okay. So before you put the tire on, check your lug nuts. And this is where I ran into problems with the other ones. Just take each lug nut that you're going to use. Obviously, unless you have an extra kit, you're going to use all of them. Just check the lug nuts before you go through all the trouble of putting the wheel on, putting the tire and the wheel on, and you get to like the last lug nut and it doesn't go on for some reason. Just check them before you put them on, because this is the problem that I ran into, where I went to go put one of the lug nuts on and it wouldn't go on. So this one goes on nice and easy. The other thing to watch out for is like excessive wobble. I've noticed that I ran into like 1 or 2 lug nuts where as you're going on, they're like wobbling, like, you know, pretty badly, like around like this as they're going on. They thread on okay, but I can't imagine that's good either. So just check that as well. We'll see if we run into any that are like that. I mean, you can see even that one has like a tiny bit of like, it's not like completely centered. You can see how it has like a slight wobble to it. All right, so that one's still okay, I think, but there are some that are just really out of whack, and I won't use that. So what happened was, I just got the kit for 1 set of tires, so 10 lug nuts, and one of them I couldn't even get on because it was all screwed up. So what I did was I called up American Muscle, told them what happened, and they sent me out a new kit, and they said just return back what you don't want. Oh yeah, look at this one. This one's all wacky. So it's pretty crazy that I'm going through a set of 10 lug nuts and like I'm already up to like 4 that I don't want to use. So I have a feeling these are, you know, fairly cheaply made. So here are the washers. One set on one side it says wheel side, and the other side says nothing. So the side that says wheel side, it goes towards the wheel. So it goes towards the inside of the wheel. All right. So what I'm gonna do, so you just take that, slide it on, and what you're gonna have to do is kind of make it so you lift up the tire a little bit, so that way the thread can get started. And they're definitely a bit of a pain. Also, what's included in the kit is a socket. This is like a thin wall socket for getting these lug nuts on. So you're going to need a 3/8 ratchet for the socket that they provide. So we're going to let her down, and then we'll torque the bolts to, I think, 95 foot-pounds, pound-foot, whatever. So one other thing is the fitment. The fitment's pretty nice, actually. One thing I was worried about was my clearance here, because with my 20s, my street tires are like, I can't even get one finger in between the street tire and the fender, and I was worried that I might have some rubbing with these, but it looks like there's like plenty of clearance, which is really nice. So no worries there. And that's it. So just torque them down to, I believe it was 95 foot-pounds, and that's it. And then one other thing, of course, I forgot to mention, is the center caps, right? So they come with these screws that you need an Allen key to put on, which actually they provide in the kit. So if you don't have one, don't worry, they'll provide one for you. Even though these are annoying to use, it's much better to use like a bit with a screwdriver to get those on. But so you just put those on. That's pretty simple. So I'm not going to show you that. So is this the answer to getting into the 11s? We'll have to see. You know, it's definitely gonna help.